What is going on, my YouTube family? Sergeant Graybeard at Graybeard Gaming Group. Today is Thursday, July 16th, and as always, I hope this message finds you healthy and safe. If this happens to be the first time you are visiting us, we welcome you. Please feel free to hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. We would love for you to be a part of what we're doing here, and also hit that like button if you enjoy this video. It really helps us out. And one final thing before we start, as you can see in the screen, we are currently having a giveaway for a $100 gift card to either the Xbox Store or PlayStation Store, depending on what console you're running. All you need to do to be eligible to win is subscribe to our channel, that is it. You can also follow us on Twitter if you like, and we will be announcing the winner on August 15th of this year. And as always, just to be clear, watching our content is not a requirement to win. Watch what you want. Having said that, let's get into today's video. So over the past few weeks, actually, one thing real quick. If you're interested on Xbox, we have a clan. It's called the GB Brigade for Graybeard Brigade. I can't even say that word today. Brigade. Anyone is welcome to join. No toxic environment, just good players, good people trying to help each other out. So back to today's video. Over the last few weeks, we've got a lot of people asking us to do an updated version of a video we did about 3 weeks ago. It covers all of the exotic drops we've had so far in the game since Title Update 10. This will be the last one we do before Title Update 10.1, which actually happens next week, because once again they're going to be changing the dynamic of how and where exotics drop. In our last video, we had some that we were showing you that we did. We've added a few more for this one, some current, some as early as yesterday. So again, we try to keep this up to speed and show you what we've attained and how we've actually gotten it. So again, this is kind of like a highlight reel from some of our previous videos, and we've also added a few other drops from the Pestilence to Sawyer's knee pads, a few different ways to get Lady Death and stuff like that. As in all of our videos, we're just going to cut to, the drop itself, how long it took, what difficulty we ran, and any other details you may need. So having said that, let's just jump right into it. The first drop we're showing you today is the Pestilence. It is on the Tombs mission in New York on challenging difficulty, and it probably took about, I would say, 16 minutes or so to complete the level. Now, for those of you who haven't seen some of my videos before, one thing I recommend is when you're farming, or if you intend to farm a specific spot over and over again, I strongly suggest to change the difficulty in between attempts. I don't know why, but for some reason, myself and we've heard from a lot of gamers, that seems to really help your chances of getting what you're looking for to actually drop. The next drop we have is Sawyer's knee pads, and it's actually in the Dark Zone, which is a place I really never ever go to, but it happens to be a pretty good spot to find exotics. As always, the tricky part is actually, being able to get out of there with the exotic itself. Luckily, I was able to, but again, play this at your own risk, people. Next, we have a Lady Death drop on heroic difficulty. We're at a control point, and these usually take, I want to say, around 12 minutes or so, depending on, what type of build you're running and really your skill set. Again, I love running control points on heroic because you face 2 named enemies, before you actually clear the control point itself. Now let's move on to another Lady Death drop. So this drop took place in New York, where the submachine gun was the targeted loot, and as you can see in the screen, it's just a random heavy that was walking by when I was going through the area. The world was set to challenging difficulty, and for me, this is the first time I've actually witnessed an exotic dropping from a non-named enemy, so it was a really good surprise. One of the common things I talk about in these videos in regards to farming is the fact that, again, as I mentioned before in regards to control points, I strongly recommend, changing the world difficulty, pretty often. Now, I typically run heroic control points, but if I'm going after named enemies, I usually run that on challenging because, again, for my luck, that seems to work the best. Now, in regards to this drop, I think I misspoke in the previous video where I may have showed this, where I said that this is on hard difficulty. It's actually on challenging difficulty, but the bounty we were going after is set to hard. This actually dropped from a named enemy we ran into on the way to the bounty itself. And if you may be interested, we put out a video, 2 videos actually, in regard to some named boss locations in both New York and DC. Moving on to this one, it was just a bounty that we decided to do. The bounty itself is normal, and I think the world is set to challenging. We'll find out in a second. Yep, there we go. And I think on this one, we picked up the Nemesis. And the fact that now targeted loot helps you pinpoint, certain weapons you may be looking for, it's fantastic. And not only that, it should be improving as well with Title Update 10.1. Moving on to our next drop, this is actually from last night, and it is from a random matchmaking looking for a bounty, and we were able to get the Chameleon. Now, as most of you know by now, that is one of the most common exotic drops from named enemies or bosses or things like that in the open world. So again, typically what we do here is, I offered if anyone wanted one, no one wanted it, and so then I just take the item and break it down for the components. And as we move along, with the next drop, it's another Chameleon as well. But one thing I mention in all my videos is hold on to those components as more and more exotics come out. You want the ability to re-roll them as often as you can to try to get them as maxed out as possible. The next drop we're showing you is at a heroic checkpoint. It was, I want to say it took about 12 minutes to do, and it was in an area where the rifle was the targeted loot. Here we were able to pick up the Merciless, which is a great gun, but again, we already had it, so of course we're going to break it down, stuff like that. And leave a comment below. I really think that, especially even if it's just members in your clan, if there are certain exotics you have, I think you should have the ability to at least share with your clan members. What do you think? Anyway, we were able to pick up the Merciless as well as a really great Providence mask, which is, something I'm running pretty much every day. I just re-rolled the blue stat to red and absolutely love the thing. Okay, moving on to our last drop. And actually, this one is from a faction cache that we found on this level. This is at Lincoln Memorial. And the funny thing is, nobody wants it. It's Acostas Go Bag. And I think that's a testament to when you have exotics in the game that really don't benefit a lot of players, there's no point to having it, I think. I mean, if we go back to the first division, the Ninja Bike backpack was one of the best pieces of equipment because it served like a wild card for any other gear set you may be running. And I, for one, would love to see that talent come back in this game, as well as many other things from the Division 1 that I thought, because they were so successful, they would have rolled over into this game. Anyway, my friends, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for taking the time watching our content. If you're new, hit that sub button. If you like this, please hit that like button. And as always, most importantly, take care, be kind, and we will chat with you next week. Thanks again, everyone.
Target agent. Good work. Cleaning up the streets one bad guy at a time. Nicely done, Sheriff.